This maxillary artery is also called as the internal maxillary artery. Okay, so now this maxillary artery is actually divided into three parts by the lateral pterygoid muscle. It is actually considered as the key muscle of the infratemporal region. Okay, so considered as the key muscle of the infratemporal region, which divides the lateral pterygoid maxillary artery into three parts. So here you are able to see the two heads of the lateral pterygoid muscle, the upper head and the lower head, and getting inserted into the fovea or neck of the mandible and the capsule of the temporomandibular joint. The first part is actually from its origin, maxillary artery commencement, to the lower border of the lateral pterygoid muscle. Lower border of the lateral pterygoid muscle. The second part actually crosses the muscle. So it might be superficial to the muscle or it might be deep to the muscle. And then it passes between the two heads or disappears between the two heads. So the second part can be considered as that which is related to the lateral pterygoid muscle, either superficial or deep. The third part passes between the two heads and then through the pterygomaxillary fissure it enters the pterygopalatine fossa. That is the third part of the maxillary artery. So that is how we divide the artery into three parts, and the lateral pterygoid muscle is the one which divides the maxillary artery into the first part, second part and third part. Now here I would like to stress one point is, so that is why in the previous class I had discussed about the pterygopalatine fossa and its various communications. So if you are actually thorough or well versed with the pterygopalatine fossa, and then naturally you will understand the third part of the maxillary artery very easily. And not only that, even the maxillary nerve branches and also the branches of pterygopalatine ganglion is well understood once you are actually familiar with the pterygopalatine fossa and its various communications. So better have a quick look at the pterygopalatine fossa. Okay, now I am directly passing on to the branches of the maxillary artery. So we will start with the branches of the first part of the maxillary artery. The first part of maxillary artery gives 5 branches. Okay, now it is seen between the neck of the mandible. So here you are able to see the medial side of the neck, you are able to see here, and it crosses the neck of the mandible. So it is present between the neck of the mandible, and actually here one more structure should be here which is cut, that is the sphenomandibular ligament. You are able to see the cut part of the sphenomandibular ligament. So it is present between the sphenomandibular ligament medially and the neck of the mandible laterally. So it passes forwards below the auriculotemporal nerve. So the auriculotemporal nerve is above the first part of the maxillary artery. Then from the commencement to the lower border of the pterygoid muscle, the lateral pterygoid muscle, you are able to see here. So this part shows mainly the first part of the maxillary artery. And here what you are able to see here is the cut part of the medial pterygoid muscle. Now the first part